3:35 a.m., June 5th, 2086. 60 years in the future! It's depressing as hell in here. They need to liven this place up. Carlos flat, right? Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover. But this shouldn't take all night. What are you... Look, I already told you people I didn't... I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I'm a lawyer. You're a lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you. Yeah, well, they said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here, kept repeating it the whole ride over. They said they were going to help me, that they knew this was all a mistake. Then they said that I killed. Actually, I think they were on my side. And they thought that I could have... It's not their job to help you, Carlos. But it is mine, and I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions. The police already questioned you, I'm sure. But they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client. Okay. One day you'll save! Wait, actually, that is... Where do I save? Ha! There we go. Yay, I saved! So, what do you want to know? Are you... About the victim, about the murder. Yeah, about you. Let's start simple. Something mundane, grounded, rote. I'd like to know a bit more about you first, Carlos. To never save again. Something like... What line of work are you in? I'm with city engineering. Or I was, or I should be. As I thought, the police must have convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work. My arm, I got slaughtered for the job. And, Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said that he was modded for work, and that arm must be in custody at the moment, but based on his shoulder, it'd have to be pretty, utilitarian. Utilitarian, yeah. He doesn't strike me as the type who's enamored with the aesthetics of modding. The young and the restless and the rich, swapping in neon and chrome limbs like they like the way it looks, because they like the way it looks, or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted to mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out. A whole career path, the promotions, the bonuses, and the upgrades they'd afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present. Test results politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. I think he felt relieved, actually. Seemed like a weight was off his chest. Like he was glad he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I think it does. I always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small, a hand or an eye. Test the water. Never thought about lobbing my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said, because of the NCDA, there was a financial aid and resources. Of course, that got shit canned. So now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit. The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed. But I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment. I work the tighter spaces, the high-volt environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typical stuff for modders, you know? He's speaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. But the right word choice here, or there, can still make a difference. You work on the canopy? You must be... That's a new choice. I'm gonna go with under a lot of pressure. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, because that's like... He must be under a lot of pressure, now that the subways are cordoned off. Right, the subways! Damn straight. And this crap was long? Once word got out that the case against it was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that Internal Affairs is going to come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Okay, so... Damn, this is pretty cool. Okay, so virtual work release. Hey there, due to ongoing controversy following the suspected suicide of inmate Jay Galley, search results for this term are temporarily blocked. Oh, jeez. What? That's insane. What? Optics. The opt-in crime surveillance system is a partnership program accessible through... Net scrubbing. Further process of scouring all available data posted on the net within a certain time frame and location range for evidence of a crime. An increasingly common technique for police departments. Okay. Keep other part of the law and order platform. Interesting. Mods, yeah. Body modifications. Culture. The modern body modification movement is differentiated by a shift from intrinsic factors, expression or identity, to extrinsic motivators, job opportunities, technological benefits, improvements in physical or mental ability. Interesting. Can you return mods? Can you undo mod surgery? Best reviewed neural implants 2086. God. IoT. Internet of Things. Internet of Things refers to the networked data sharing that goes on between all the countless electronics that we monitor ourselves with. IoT improves our lives through the usage of crumbs, small packets of data containing your own unique identifying information. Throughout the day, your own IoT device says hi to other devices. They'll leave behind crumbs as a parting gift. Crumbs allow for paperless identification and payment and help the government manage human and vehicular traffic. Interesting. Yes, so there was no crumbs at the crime scene either. Interesting. Oh wait, Calver. Manufacturer of civilian firearms for 2030 to 2062. Yeah, guns, Heartbreak Killer. Yeah, we already. The findings probably results may be heavily curated or responsive. Oh, jeez, that's annoying. Wait, okay, digital autopsy. Articles, the Android one. Profile is flat. Registered at birth, just your last 4, unknown fields pending. 2 civil disturbances, 1st-degree homicide. Okay. Oh, this is all the different stuff we've gotten. Handwritten note in barely legible script. The victim, Dano, is 27-year-old agricultural genetics researcher in Perigee Laboratories. Found shot through the heart in the bedroom of the apartment she shares with prime suspect Carlos Flat. No known connection with previous HK victims. Yeah, the vase didn't break. Suspect's prosthetic. Revolver. Bears fingerprints. Marching Carlos Baker's left hand with a 99.91% certainty. I'll look at that later. All of them convinced an eternal fail. Oh, yes. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving, no room for engineering. Welcome back, Dora. Armed. I was just reading! Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups. He's trying very hard to not look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah, that. Rejection issues starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejection? Did the therapy not take? It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything. Then do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars? Not in the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed. So those cuts on his face are just from shaving? Never thought this would go on so long I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling, but then spasms. Just oversensitivity, they said. An easy fix. But the problem got bigger. Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and... Dora. Got no games on that phone! People could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed on the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it in? Some mess turning around Chop Shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't. It doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Hell no. I found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning, the manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive-ass stump for a shoulder. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got 2 working arms again. You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself, just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state. And I've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight. Hindi? Howe Industries? As I recall, he's registered with one of their Habilis models. If I took one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fines. I'd lose the down payment and my arm. And I'd never work in the city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that Long's in deep hot shit. You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that'll kill you. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Arm-shaped attached to me. Didn't they give you something to, well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinics lend out for cases like this? What they gave me is a dead weight, 3-jointed landfill bait piece of shit! So sorry, it's a very shitty feeling having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. It fits, it's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend, and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep, or dead. So, were you wearing it when... Yeah, I'm not gonna push him, you were arrested. Were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so... Can't have gotten too far. So Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found. He had the victim's blood on his left arm only because at the time in question he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies in the story so far. He's opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right. Now, I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out in a real formal way. Oh, they were fuck buddies, and then... Sounds pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Diane, she was in genetics. Focused her studies on agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out the gate. Practically headhunted, do you believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company would be lucky to have her, unlike... It was a real-ass job. Paid real-ass money, too. That's pricey. Kia! So her career was starting to pan out. Right as yours has fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree? No, Perigee Laboratories. Perigee? I say that like that name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella. That doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows 1/3 of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as big business can get. Predictable like the seasons. No one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Has she adjusted well to her new job? Yeah, they loved having her here. They're there. She never mentioned arguments or disputes, corporate politics getting rough? I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. But I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her. And there's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her. It was a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to ship blame onto. With no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was. Now I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Start at the beginning, and take your time. The details are important. All right, Miss, Morgan. I'll try, Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. We'd been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working, haven't been making money, hadn't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money. The reports say you were arguing around 8 p.m.? 8? Yeah, it must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. I crossed the line and we both knew it, so I left. You left? Yeah, walked out the front door, thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid, thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was... Did you bring your phone with you or any other electronics? No. Kind of stormed off. Didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. With optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves... Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit? No, not even a vending machine. City air. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? I may have met my match. How could anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details straight. My head is... But if my exact route would help, the cam's probably... What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen? And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Diane was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi. This isn't... This can't... Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't! Carlos? I'm the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with. Right. Now, you said you left to clear your head. Clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was, but it was loud and it scared me. It came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first, but at some point I must have started running because when I got back, I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't. You live on the first floor, right? Yeah, first floor apartment, street-facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize... I never thought that she was... The lights were off, the whole room was a mess. I thought we'd been robbed or she'd fallen or... No, itchy nose. There was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name and she didn't move. I checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw... The gun. It looked so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, damn it! Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies. Bad lies, especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie. But it can be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Other by checking your phone. If your clients notice that you don't know what you're talking about, they'll stop giving you any credit. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact, and we know because... Yeah, his fingerprints were all over it. Yeah, I double-checked, and we're just going to make sure, because I glanced at it. Revolver. Bears fingerprints matching Carlos Flat's left hand with 99.91% certainty. Yep, that's it. It's the prints. It's a fact that your fingerprints are on that gun. What? But I didn't do this. I didn't. I wasn't thinking. I was just... Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun. but not in a way that would satisfy the police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun... So stupid. I know what a gun looks like. But seeing it in my own home, right in front of... You were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast. It seemed like the rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that the two of you never had a physical fight? What, physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say that we did? They assumed as much. Which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos has told me, what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh. It's an AR module built from the data taken as the police entered, so... Right, it's just that... It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay. Let me see it. Take your time. Alright. I think I've got it. That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to the room, how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. Alright. I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. The gun. I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror was upright, of course. And the clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, and the bed got tossed, and cushions torn. And the urn fell. Other than that... No, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like so? That is a terrible drawing. What's wrong? Something out of place? Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. It's just, I guess I assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR. Well, I suppose that works too. Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing was pretty good, considering... I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Right. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? What do you mean? I mean this letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession. A confession? But this is just a note to self. Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper. Say things I don't mean to. This morning I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them. That's... I broke her fidget tubbies. Her what? Her what? Her fidget tubbies. They're these collectible ceramic character things. They're supposed to be like tactile, use them as paperweights or conversation starters. Conversation starters? She loved those little things. They're not worth a damn. You could buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her. And I broke them. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know when I'm swinging it half the time. Look at that. Got so angry that I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room. That cheap, dusty, worthless... Okay, let's say he did break her fidget duckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the note for me to prove that his intent was when he sat down to write it. Fighters no payroll. But if the police insist on claiming it's a confession from the heartbreak killings anyway, couldn't even bother to sweep them up, so I felt so... Alright, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. I know where they are. That weird ceramic thing she found that the cops are like, whatever. It was the fidget thingies! I'm going to call the police back in here, and I'm going to get this cleared up for you. What, that's it? That's it? Oh, okay. Although, before I do that, I have to ask. What do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Fidget Dusties. Heartbreak. You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everyone's on edge. A guy like that out there. He shoots people through the heart, right? Police have kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow in the uptake, it's going to be real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and definitively as possible. 4:04 a.m., June 5th, 2086. Should probably save. Okay, now, I should probably read like more profiles. Okay, that's all. Student debt sizable. Luck poor. Arcs data. Victim was shot in the room's doorway. No unexpected DNA present. No unexpected crumbs present. Well, if I have to answer something that I'm not 100% about, then I'll just glass shards onto the victim's body. That's the thing that's interesting on the victim's body, you know. Fidget Tubbies. Collectible and fragile ceramic conversations are victim's personal collection pulverized by Carlos flat replacement. Evidently an acquired taste. Hey, Somber! Phantom pain. Yeah, phantom is basically when you have an amputation or whatever, you can basically... Is my arm haunted? You can still feel like you're having an itch in that area or whatever. I didn't realize you could smoke in here. Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a fee. Smoking and non-smoking here. I guess so. Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Right, I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though. Oh. Why does everyone think that the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant experience in other areas. Oh. And, what areas are those? You ever gamble, Carlos? No, ma'am. I never got anywhere near loot boxes. Never go anywhere. Won't touch the stuff. Literally, them. Yeah. I meant more like playing cards. Oh, well then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck. Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker's nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun. Okay, so, do you have a good poker face? I like to think so. And are you lucky? Only when the stakes are high. And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker. And the state's the dealer? If only. No, the state's more like... the house. You mean like the house always wins? Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. So what do? We play the cards we're dealt as best we can, win more hands than we lose. Keep it up and eventually, someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear, and then we'll be politely asked to leave. That doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose. Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking like, what should I say? Just leave all the talking to me. So that's the strategy? What's up? You know there's a saying about gamblers with strategies. Yo, ready to confess yet? Because I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. The district attorneys always have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair, since they're the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long, protracted trials. And they all just like having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then, you'll have to call them back. Because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right. What she said. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. I guess, before my time kind of thing. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession. Let's start there. Okay, we'll be happy to. The thrust of every argument starts with the facts, what's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player on the table. It's pretty simple, counselor. Real paint by number stuff. See, we found a note it hit his apartment with his fingerprints on it, apologizing for how he hurt them all so bad. Now, how are you planning on spinning that? Those are the facts. But I've been building up my hand all night, and now I've got the weapons to answer anything they try and throw at me. Wrinkle that brain. Well, I am saving again. My client did write that note, and it was an apology, but not for murder. He was apologizing for... So laid out the review. The response is in your hand. Select the card that best answers the argument and place it in the slot on the right. Good answer. You must mouse over your opponent's portrait for a reminder of what point you're answering. Ceramic. Okay, so he wrote a confession. Okay, so we have ceramic crap near western window, murder weapon limited 5 crimes. Yeah, it's the ceramic cracks. Yeah, we know it's the debris. He's simply apologizing for this. The hell is that? I found myself asking the exact same question. Hey, Madam, how you doing? I am playing Of the Devil. I'll drop a link real quick here, so you can check it out. It's like an Ace Attorney kind of game. And at first I was kind of like, am I gonna like this? And I'm actually quite enjoying it. The story is quite entertaining. How are you doing? What have you been up to? That's that same question. What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene? This diagram of the room is created from data you captured, right? Pure, non-GMO, augmented reality crime scene data, yeah. What's non-GMO? Not much these days. It takes place in the future, if you haven't guessed that by now. Notice anything out of place? Yeah, the whole room's full of busted shit. It's the scene of a murder. Full of busted shit, for sure. But it was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. The hell is that? Ceramic debris, huh? Must be from the vase that got tossed. I should admit that. I was playing that with some friends. We were trying to find a time to play it again. I was having a lot of fun with it. It's actually way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. Actually, that's not possible. Oh? Because that vase wasn't damaged. It wasn't here! It's not possible for that debris to have come from the vase, because that vase is still pristine. How is that possible? Damn, I'm trying to defend you, dude. The lady at the garage sale told me it was so old and delicate. Damn it, the one time I try and thrift shop on my own. Yeah, no, hey, have fun lurking. So happy you showed up. Take it easy. I've been trying to key. Oh my god. I even asked, what was it, on Thursday, if anyone was up, and nobody answered back. So, meh. You can blame the other people in the group chat. Well, so what? What does it even matter? If the vase doesn't have a scratch on it, then the debris must have come from somewhere else. That debris is what my client wrote that apology over. You're saying that confession was an apology for not vacuuming? I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of Fiji Bob. Fidget tat. The music! Fidget tubbies. What he said. Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident. And this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can you prove that? We're taking this seriously? As much as I wish we weren't. We're all in agreement that my client wrote the note. And we can all plainly see the ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Those things! It's the little things about this game that are absolutely charming to me. Like, simple, right? The hell are you on about? The entire room is trashed, as the arcs clearly show. Those fidget tubbies must have gotten pulverized during the struggle, too. You're really gonna claim you sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down? Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. No, those collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that, and there's proof. Okay, found a flash bar, shake hand, ready, expresses a lot of guilt. Stiff and unyielding, a dusty, fidget tubby slayer in police. Yeah, it's the arm. Just take a closer look at the rental you took into custody. Huh? One swipe of your finger should show you exactly how devastating it was to the Fickle Buddy ecosystem. It's fidget tubbies. How does she know? I feel that Reyes has a side hobby. Whatever. You did take it into custody. I'm sure your text found ceramic debris on it, yes? Now that you mention it. Fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm. While he was killing her. Happy? Overjoyed because even a cheap arm's got an operating system that'll log the last time it was worn, right? Right. See, I happened to spot a footnote on the lab report that said the rental hadn't been used since the AM. Whose side are you on, old man? It's gotten pretty late, Sunshine. Just trying to save us all some time where I can. Well, thank you for your service. See, now I'm shipping Morgan in London. Well, thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look how scrawled, how panicked that note is. That is assuming that it's not going to be a lesbian lover situation later on as well. For now. Is this just because we have not found a female compatriot to ship her with properly? You expect me to believe he was upset over a fidget tubby collection? One that wasn't even being graded? One that hasn't even been graded? Oh, she is a collector. Ah! Setting aside Detective Reyes' surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles. I have to say it's attorney for a reason. You're correct. They held no real monetary value. Kia, I know what you're trying to do. You misspelled it, though. It would be odd for Carlos to be so shaken over their loss. God, now I had to do it just because... Female! God. But so what? So what? After all, that's not panic you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason that note looks the way it does is because Carlos is right-handed. Because Carlos is right-handed. Yes, I am. Did they not know that? Shouldn't that be on my permanent record or something? On purpose. Yeah. So the reason why the note looks like Asylum Wall Scribbles is just because he had to use his left hand to write it. I tend to think better writing than typing. And I need to get used to using my left anyway. I just thought it could be good practice. Taking that note into account, alongside the ceramics. Your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor. You've established that your client's remorseless. Now let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. We found your client at the scene of the crime, wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, right next to the big old goddamn gun that just so happened to have his fingerprints on it. That's right, that coat is... What, you're gonna claim it's not his? That he actually wears an extra small? Actually, was the coat in evidence? Here we go. Coat suspect was wearing when taken to custody. Taking my lab text for additional analysis, but an initial test showed blood on the left sleeve matches that of the victim. Okay. That's starting out like Reyes. She's trying to bait me in her typical low-key fashion. As the argument flows, you won't always have the stronger hand. Sometimes the best you can do is hold your tongue and avoid overcommitting. Try to lose as little credit as possible while you wait for a more favorable chance. She must have something. No sense playing into it. Something you'd like to ask me, detective? I'm just curious. What'll it be next? You gonna tell me he was actually wears an extra small? Stay. Oh, it won't let me. You can also raise, but it won't let me because, yeah, we're basically learning the game, so... Stay. Gee, Carlos, do you? No. Yeah? Sure there's no evil twin you've forgotten to mention? No, I'm afraid not. Not even gonna go for a mysterious third party at the scene of the crime. To prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. But going there now without hard evidence. I can prove it through. That's it. That's the hubris talking, and we're not going for it. No. Unlike Dank. Yes. I have no evidence of a third person at this time. Damn right you don't. It's clear as day in the arcs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night. So keep dreaming. It was obvious she had something there. I wasn't going to win that hand either way. But at least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. You know what? We're not contesting any of that, Detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene, which was not smart. Hey, but not illegal either. And that's all? He had her blood all over his clothes. Yes, he did. Right. Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way? The lab finished with them a while ago. What are you getting at? It'll be easier to just show you. Would you mind getting them for me? You know what? Sure, I could use the fresh air. It stinks of bullshit in here anyway. And here I thought the room smelled like... Psst, Morgan. What are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood. I remember that much. So doesn't that, like, make me look really bad? Just relax, Carlos. I'm pretty sure that's impossible. You're innocent. And that means that having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you. Really? Really. Not really. Plenty of innocent people in prison. People with bad luck. Or bad lawyers. People shouldn't count on the truth to come out easy. More often than not, it takes coaxing. What was it that it reminded me of? Alright, here it is. One bloodstained jacket fresh from the lab. So what's your angle? You gonna tell us this is actually just hot sauce? No. That would be silly. She actually thought it over. So what the hell's your point? Hey. Sorry, just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune. What good fortune? You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She just proven your innocence. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing it at the time of the murder. It has the victim's blood on it. We know who died when she was shot in the heart. Who we know died when she was shot in the heart. By a gun that happens to be an old-world pre-tagging firearm. And so this coat proves he couldn't have been the shooter. Is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense? Sense happens to be key here. I just need to draw their attention to what they can. What can you smell in the coat with your nose? What can you feel on the coat? What can you see on the coat with your eyes? There's blood on the coat, but not on the gun. And if he shot the gun with his left arm, yeah, I feel like it's the see. It's not the smell. Although he was saying, what can you smell in the coat with your nose? That seems odd to me. Yeah. Coat the suspect was wearing when taken into custody back from analysis. Blood on the sleeve matches that of the victim with 99.99% certainty. No other details of any forensic significance found. So it's C. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my gut. What bullet guns used to fire with? Yeah, fingers. Or what do we know of the... Oh, that's... Oh my god, no. Damn it, what'd you say, gun? Where's the... Okay. Caliber M54, 6-chambered 10mm revolver. Bears fingerprints matching Carlos Baker's left hand was nice. Rifling marks match the bullet pierced victim. Match the bullet. No matches to any other archive forensic data as far back as 2051. Now you got me doubting myself. There's no... So... Hold on a sec. Wait. Manufactured civilian firearms from 2031 to 2062 when it was bought up by Thortec. Though no guns have borne the caliber branding since production halted in 2060, the once iconic brand briefly revived in 2071 with series of Vindicat. Oh. Okay, I was seeing if there's anything about the gun in there. Good human body for mod therapy. Well, we can prove what we can't. God damn, I'm trying to... This music is good. No, autopsy report, cause it a single bullet. Single bullet pierced his sternum left. Death was instantaneous. Time of death 9 p.m. No other details of forensic significance found. I still think it's... Okay, I'm thinking... There's no gunpowder. You're right, it's not C. You can't smell any gunpowder. It's a standard... Oh. It's smell. Just do me one favor, detective. Tell me what you smell. I don't smell anything except dried blood. Exactly. The coast smells like blood, but it doesn't smell of... cigarette. That's what I've been smelling. Yes, Detective London, I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation? I've been listening. You wanted me to smell the jacket? If you would. Let's see. Huh. Yay, I'm smart! No gunpowder. I was thinking I had to be a little like, kind of think beyond what was kind of told, because there's always... And whenever... What they do is they swab for gunpowder residue whenever anyone is accused of firing a gun, and because it always leaves it on. At least that's in cop shows. I don't know if it actually happens in real life, but that's like, that's a thing, you know? What? That was initially I was thinking of the blood, but then as I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. And they were alluding towards it. It's like, what does this place smell like? It smells like bullshit in here. Like, yeah. But I got there without help. What? What about gunpowder? Oh, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time. You can't be more than a few years older than me. But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder's weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff. Hard to store, prone to misfiring. It did, but I got there, so shush. And when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence. The hell is she talking about, London? Modern firearms like the ones we carry use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They've got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise, and they don't leave behind any residue. Gunpowder residue. You talked my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces. But a revolver like this one, it'll leave the gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days. So then his coat? If you don't trust your noses, you can check the lab reports. I think if they found any gunpowder on my client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it. Well, whatever. That just means he washed it off after shooting her, or he changed his clothes. That's not impossible, but it would be pretty pointless. Huh? His jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when your officers found him. Would he really go through all the effort to get rid of something as subtle as gunpowder residue? Just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards? In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you reconsider the charges of Mr. Flat is facing as soon as possible. Whoa. They're faltering now. Should topple over at any moment. The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them, but that gun is all they had to link Carlos to any of the shootings. So it looks like he never actually fired the gun. I'll admit, things were a little dicey there at times, but once I was able to grasp the situation, The smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Not my cleanest work by far. But overall, I'd say... Did she get a message? Wait, did they actually manage to find it? Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes? You're good. Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you. Thanks. But your luck just ran out. Because the net scrubbers found a cam active at the exact moment of the shooting, and right now, I'm staring at a photo of the killer. Want to bet?